just passed a test that you don't even know was so huge, and you passed it in the easiest, simplest way by just simply remaining faithful, by just simply trusting in God. Something had went wrong in your life, and instead of getting upset about it, instead of getting mad about it, you push through it. You let your emotions go to the side, and you put your faith over fear. You don't even know that you just passed one of the biggest tests in order to get you to your next level, in order to get you to your new level. You don't even know that God was stretching you in order to release you. See, I don't know if you guys heard about the rubber band theory, but God has been using that so much in your life that when you pull a rubber band back so far, the farther you pull it, the farther it goes when you let it go. And God is saying that he was stretching some of you, that some of you had to get pulled back, you had to get tested, you had to be under the pressure. The diamond doesn't become a diamond until it goes under pressure, right? It doesn't, if it can't pass the pressure test, it does not become a diamond. It cannot be labeled as a diamond. You were put under pressure. There was something in your life that just, it could have been a big thing. Like, you could have really been complaining about it. You could have really given away your faith. You could have really given up. You may have was looking at it like it was an attack from the enemy, but God's saying it was a test from him. Sometimes God will allow us to go through some things, to walk through some things in order to test us for our next season, in order for our development, in order for our increase. And I hear God saying that this last test, it was something that you thought was an attack because it hurt you, or it brought some sort of sadness into your life, but God was saying he's seen the way you looked at it. He's seen the way you were understanding how this could be a test from God, and you praised your way through it. You still gave God the glory. You still gave God the control. There was a situation in your life where you put your hands up and you said, God, I'm gonna let you take control over it no matter how this looks, no matter where this goes, no matter where the situation was taking you. You trusted God, and you're not even knowing that that was the very moment God has decided to get you out of that cycle that you've been going inside of, that repeated cycle of financial struggle, that repeated cycle of depression, that repeated cycle of lack. And God is saying that he's breaking that cycle, and he's putting you into a new cycle. You're entering a new cycle in your life because God knows that you trust him now. If you can trust God through the pain, you'll be able to trust him with anything, to trust him no matter what season. And that last test that you just went through, it wasn't an attack from the enemy. I hear God saying this so clearly that you could look at this like it was an attack from the enemy because it was that bad for you. Like you really could have cried, or you really felt like breaking down or giving up, or you could have even felt hopeless. This time you took it and you put your faith over fear. Instead of allowing it to change you, right, you change your outlook on the situation. Change your mindset. You change your idea about the situation. You started to think, perhaps God will actually come through. Perhaps this actually will work out in my favor, even though it may not be looking like it's going in my favor at first. And so God is saying, like, he's seen that. He's seen that you acknowledge him. Proverbs 3:5, it says to lean not on your own understanding, but to acknowledge the Lord in all your ways. And I believe that was your Proverbs. You've literally been acknowledging God. Like, you told God that, God, this may be painful, but I acknowledge you in this pain. God, this may be uncertain, but I acknowledge you inside of the uncertainty. God, I may not have no control over my life right now, but I acknowledge you as the one that controls my life. God, I acknowledge you as the head of my life. And so a lot of you are getting ready to move, to shift from a new environment to a new environment. A lot of you are taking a big step in life, and this shift comes with transformation, right? You have literally learned how to walk and trust God faithfully inside of your detriment, inside of your pain, inside of your lack, inside of the questions that you still have that have not been answered yet, inside of all of the hurt and inside of all of the pain. And God is saying that he's freeing you from every recycle, every repeated cycle, every recycled thought. Some of you, you're having recycled thoughts of losing, of failure, of pressure, of not good things, things that are not going to bring you a sound mind, but things that are going to bring you harm. And I just want to remind you that 2 Timothy 1:7 says that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. So anything that comes to you that is not bringing you peace, it is not from God. And God is saying that even if you have those thoughts, you still trust in him to take them away. And not only that, you trust in God to get you out of the position to where you have to think those thoughts, right? Your life has been adding up to the thoughts you think, but God is saying that he's about to allow you to think new thoughts because you're going into a situation of settlement, right? The thoughts that you're going to think are going to be of prosperity because you're going to see your life prospering. The thoughts that you're going to think are going to be of future CEOs because you're going to see yourself becoming a business owner. Like, God is taking you out of all those ways and reasons to think bad and negative about your life. You may have had a reason to think about failure because you may have been failing in life, or maybe you may have had a reason to think about sickness because you may have been feeling sick or felt sick, and you feel like God isn't hearing you, but God is saying that he's now changing your life. What he's about to do is open up new doors in your life of increase where you're not going to even think about the bad because your life is going to be so focused on the good. I want you to understand something, chosen ones. That last thing that you just went through, it was definitely a test from God. God was testing your strength. He was testing your endurance, and most importantly, God was testing your faith. God is bringing you increase in this season, and that last attack, it was not from the enemy, it was from God.